Welcome to our onboarding session for filing your annual income tax through Taxumo. This is our website, taxumo.com. So when you already have an account, you can click on login. But if you're just about to sign up, you can click on sign up. So there are three methods to sign up. You have email sign up, signing up with Google or with Facebook. So for this one, let's just try email sign up. So I already created a test account for this. So let's do a sample of it. And you just have to input your email, and then you will be sent a verification code to that email address. So let's try this one. Verified. So let's do a sample of password. Let's see, this is your last name and first name. Let's create that. So there you have it. You will be led to this page of a welcome message. Taxumo makes it easy for every Filipino professional and small business owner to file and pay their taxes. Click on next and just simply input your income and expenses, and Taxumo will automatically compute and fill up your tax forms. Since Taxumo is accessible online, you can file and pay your taxes anytime, anywhere. So let's get started. Let's try to input your taxpayer's name. So click on next. There's your email address. Click on next. Then let's do a sample of say your mobile number. Click on next. Let's do your birthday. So let's make it this one. Next, you select a gender, and then you are asked if you are aware that you're a VAT payer, a non-VAT payer. If you're not sure, you can click on I'm not sure. Then you will be recommended to a specific subscription plan, which you don't have to worry about because you have the option to change this later. So if you want to do monthly billing, you can click on that and click on next. So these are the forms, the default forms that you may need to file, but you can actually just choose the forms that you want to file and click on create profile. There you have it. So there's a walkthrough process for you. So filing and paying your taxes can be easy as ABC. So you just click on next. Your tax juice will be your page to for you to find the tax codes that you'll need to file and pay for. Your dashboard is where you see a summary of your valuable business data. Your dashboard will summarize your income, expense, and withheld taxes that you may have issued or received. So for the current year and for past year. So that's your dashboard. Let's click on next. Your cash flow is where you go to encode your income and expenses. So every time you input the data, the system automatically computes your tax tools. So next would be your withheld tax. Under that, you have either issued or received. So if you will be issuing 2307s for withheld tax, this is where you go to. And if it's the other way around, you receive a 2307 and you want to input that on your account as tax credits, this is also where you go to. Click on next. Your books of accounts will show you the data that's automatically generated from your entries on cash flow. So there are specific books enlisted there. You can just choose the books that you are required to submit or to generate from. And then paying bills is something that we have for you to pay your government contribution, including SSS and Pag-ibig. So PhilHealth and other billing partners are coming soon, so to watch out for that. Your settings is where you update any of your account and profile settings. So congratulations on completing the product tour. You can click on done and click on get started. So you're being asked to input your tax identification number. So let's do a sample. Your registered address. Let's do a sample address. Okay, RDO. If you know your RDO, you can just input the number. So let's say for Valenzuela, this is the RDO number, and you want to file your taxes from let's do 2019, since you're filing for annual income tax for 2019. So let's do a sample of that. 2019 zip code. All right, and click on proceed. For the year being reported, where does your income come from? So if your income comes only from business, you can click on that. If it's from business or profession and you have an employment, you can click on this. If you receive income only from your profession, then you can choose this one. So let's try this one. Do you know which option you opted for this year? So this is being asked if ever you have quarterly income tax filings for the year. So you have to check which option you have chosen for your initial filings for 2019. So let's say, for example, I'm gonna do this. You can select your business type. So let's try this one. Your taxpayer type, line of business. So you can just start and choose which line of business. Let's say this one. Are you into? So you can just start typing and it will suggest whatever is related to what you are typing. If you're under BMBE, you can click on yes. If you haven't applied for BMBE or Barangay Micro Business Enterprise, you can click on no and you submit your details. There you have it. So you don't have to worry, because these are promptings based on what the system reads, and since you don't have a data yet, so if ever you missed out on filing, you can automatically see some reminders for you. So if ever you filed it outside of Taxumo, you can just hide the card. So for this session, let's look for annual income for 2019. So you can click on file now, and there's an option for you to pay one-time fee or to subscribe now. So for the subscription plan, if you want to check that out, you can visit our website and click on pricing. These are the subscription plans we have, so you can either pay for annual or monthly bills. All right, so let's do a one-time fee. Let's say you just want to file your annual income tax, so you can click one-time fee. So you will be asked a series of questions to make sure that your filing will be accurate. So if your profession or your business is exempt from filing income tax, you can click on yes. If you're unsure, click on no. So in my example, for this case, let's do no. Then you click on proceed. Is your income subject to a special or preferential income tax rate? So there are specific businesses who opted for that. If you are not into that, you can click on no and click on proceed. If you are reporting any net operating loss carryover, you can click on no and click on proceed. So did you receive an income from employment? So if you're employed for a certain part of 2019, or if you have multiple employments for 2019, you have to make sure that you have this form 2316. So for this example, let's try yes. You can just click on no if you don't have any employment. So let's click on proceed, and all right, you can get started. So let's get started. So this is the schedule of where you input your gross compensation, income, and tax withheld. So if you have your 2316 with you, you can input the name of your employer, your employer's TIN, your compensation income declared on your 2316, and the total tax withheld. So if you have multiple employers, you can just keep adding rows and input the details you have and click on proceed. If you have taxable compensation income, this is where you input that, less non-taxable exempt compensation. So click on proceed. This is Schedule 3 is a portion where you input taxable business income. So if you have your collated data for sales and revenue, receipt, and fees for the taxable year, you can input the amount here. For those who already have their data to the cash flow of your Taxumo account, this is already pre-filled. Or if you filed your quarterly income taxes with Taxumo, this already has a filled section. So you can also input sales returns, allowances and discounts, less cost of sales and services, and other non-operating income. So these are the entries wherein you can input. If you are receiving income from a partner of a general professional partnership, you can input the data here. Click on proceed. If you have ordinary allowable itemized deductions, so let's say amortization, debts, depletion, depreciation, and all of these categories, you can input the figure here if you have your collated data, and then click on proceed. If you have special allowable itemized deductions, you can put the description here and click on proceed. And summary of income tax due. If you have remittances to government agencies, excluding, again, does not include SSS, PhilHealth, or Pag-ibig payments, you can input here. So if you don't have details for that, you can just click on proceed. And this is where you input your tax credits. If you have tax credits from prior filings, let's say of quarterly income taxes or from the previous year, this is where you input the figure. And then if you have income tax payment for the first 3 quarters, that's 1701Q, you can input the tax payment here. If you have creditable tax withheld for the first 3 quarters, you can also input here. And then if you have income tax paid in return previously filed, which means it's an amended return, you can input the figure here. If you will be declaring certain taxes, credits, let's say foreign, special, or other taxes, you can input it here. And if you have your 2307s, so tax credits for the 4th quarter, since there's no Q4 for income tax filing, so if you have your first 3 quarters and then you want to also catch up with the 2307 credits that was released for the 4th quarter, this is where you input that and click on proceed. If you have reconciliation of net income per book against taxable income, this is where you input that and click on proceed. So if ever you need the guidance of an accountant to assess your records, you can visit our website and click on Taxumo Consult. So this is where you can book a session with our CPA partners to assess your previous data or your records so that you can declare accordingly. So let's do your first name. And let's say, okay, can input Filipino, and then if you have overpayments for your taxes, you can either select to be refunded or to be issued as tax credit certificate or to be carried over as tax credit for next year. So let's do this one. So also, did you know you can pay your income tax in 2 installments? So if you want to pay a certain part for this coming annual income tax filing, and you want to pay your second installment on this later part of the year, which is due on October 15. So this is where you choose how much you want to pay for the later installment, the second installment. So if you don't want to do installments, you can just choose 0 and click on proceed. So again, this is your background information, a summary of the particulars. So if you have actual entries, you can see actual figures here and auto-computed tax due based on the entries that you have inputted. And then you can click on proceed also with Taxumo. If you are filing late, it automatically computes penalties for that. So we do encourage you to file early. So let's try to do filing. Click on proceed. Here you can choose payment channels, which is most convenient for you to pay your tax due. So if you want to pay your taxes through a specific channel, from the time that you click on that, you will be in the hands of the payment channel. So you just have to follow specific instructions of the payment channel. So if ever they'll be sending you an email of the verification steps or the things that you have to secure to make sure that your payment is successfully made, then do follow the steps. So again, these are the payment channels you can choose from. After you have paid successfully, you can click on tax dues and click on past filing. So since for this demo account I haven't paid for it, you can see that the tag is unpaid. But if ever you see that the transaction was successful through your card statements, bank statements, and you can see unpaid, you can just click on the chat box and send us a screenshot of your tax card that you filed in the payment transaction, so we can check if you may have missed out a step or if there's something that we can raise with the payment channel that you have chosen through the platform. So if ever you have filed and paid successfully, this is a tax card that you can see. It's tagged as in progress. So when you see in progress, the next step to do is wait, because once you see in progress, that's already being transmitted or transacted to filing to BIR. So again, if you haven't paid for it, or if you're doing a test filing, you can see unpaid. But if you have paid successfully and you can see unpaid, you can message us and show us your tax card and the payment transaction, so we can check what could have happened if you missed out a step. Now, after we have received the BIR confirmation and track the payment record, we upload that to your account on the back end. So from in progress, you can see the tax card is tagged as completed, and here you can view your form, you can view your BIR confirmation, and you can view your tax payment record. So if you need to have your form stamped, let's say you're applying for bank loan or applying for visa, you can just print out these forms, the form, the BIR confirmation, tax payment record, and then you can visit your RDO for them to stamp your specific filing. So there you have it. This is a session on how to file your annual income tax with Taxumo. Again, if you have questions, you can click on the chat box, which is also present on our website. So you can raise your concerns here. I and the team will be addressing your concern in details. So thank you, everyone, and keep safe.